All right, you're welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Anambra right here on ABS TV. And the topic you'll be looking at this morning is the new phase of terrorism in Nigeria. Next steps, because we are looking at the jailbreak at Kuje prisons in Abuja. Of course, this is not the first time we're having issues like that in Nigeria. But this one is a thing of concern because it's happening in the Federal Capital Territory. And again, ISWAP has actually claimed responsibility for the attack. So we have a whole lot of things to talk about today, and we have with us in the studio this morning Ebuka Onyekwelo. Ebuka is a columnist, a blogger, and a public affairs analyst. Ebuka, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome. We also have with us John Ifejika. He is a security expert. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
All right, before we go into the discussion proper, we have a video that we want everyone to watch this morning so that we actually understand for those people that have not seen this video clip of what happened at Kuje prison. Let's see that before we go into discussion proper this morning.
Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install our TV decoder brand and tune to channel 315 or install any free-to-air satellite decoder and search for ABS TV.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803-388-8526 or 0806-883-9902. ABS.
Allahu Akbar! Mbache! دولة الإسلام باقية. الله أكبر. دولة الإسلام باقية. دولة الإسلام باقية. دولة الإسلام باقية. باقية. باقية بإذن الله باقية. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. باقية.
Hi, you're welcome back to the show. We've seen the little clip that we just played now. Of course, that's the entire thing that happened, but that's just a clip of what some people posted on the social media. Now, looking at this clip and some of the things that have been revealed, some of the details, even talking about these people had the time to stay there for 3 hours. I even heard that they started preaching and asked them to go. Now, with all this, what do you make out of this whole situation?
I should like to start off the discussion by saying that modern or contemporary challenges is content. People are angry. There is a heightened level of there is also increased expectation which frustrates or which leads to frustration of the governed when these expectations so all these things have culminated into the that we see not just in Nigeria but in many parts of the world. In fact, even in America, I think less than a week ago or so, there was an incident, and on the 4th of July, in Illinois. America has an appreciable level of development and citizens' comfort. But we still see this homegrown terrorism taking place in America. To buttress further, in Sri Lanka at the moment there is an ongoing protest. The people have already taken over the presidential palace, and refused to leave. Considered that, and left power. Leading us to is chaos. We would agree at this point that Plato has had a point, or maybe had that democracy is kind of a more true, so the subject matter. So when we're at the Kuje prison, it's a combination of factors. We have a government that is failing. We have a government that has failed. So now the implication is that when you have a government that has failed, about people not being happy with government is functional, where the government is making effort to meet needs. Now you have to now consider how the people feel in a place where the government has failed, like in Nigeria. And so that has led to the state is weakened. The state is increasingly weakened. The implication is that the security apparatuses are discharge their duties. The structures of government in place are weakened. They cannot properly discharge their duties. And so that was essentially what led to the Kuje prison break. And mind you, that was not the first one that has. In fact, almost all over Nigeria, we've had cases of prison break, and this has happened perhaps 5 years or so. Mostly, there were some other isolated issues before now, or cases of prison break before now, but you see the rate and the quick succession at which it's happening, shows that the state is just so weak, and the apparatuses of government.
Let's hear from you, John. And I was the person just said that the best way to badly written by some people.
Yes. It's just some group of entities in this country who felt that this country belongs to them and that there's nothing. Like I always tell people, we have kinetic and non-kinetic approach in terms of defense. You see, these people to rubbish the is an orderly order. I tell you, the military, it's not when you tell us A, you now inward you tell us B, then that you find out that you cannot balance the equation. That the Kuje, we should be in the army, police mobile force. They should be. People are talking, I just look at the arm these people use, all the propeller. That was what you seen. I saw it now. It's just they use. You be in a long range, you fire it, it bursts, and there will be all these things. That is it, which our military have been able to do, because my brother said, nothing is weakening, but rather the up has not received the go and ruthlessly deal, and it will be so. When we have the issue of the Niger Delta and things like that, how it was curtailed. This could be curtailed until the day the government will tell us this. Because how can nobody to say, let me call, or when this call were made, very close, you have the brigade of guard there, and so on. So many things. Enter the prison yard, destroy so many things, set people free, begin to preach to them, begin to tell them how Okubar, begin to do so many things, giving them more. So it looks somehow. You find out that these people came in for another mission, because if they had come to do what they were preaching, prominent Christian prisoners are there. No, that's not why they have come. They've come to do what? To threaten the government and say there's nothing you can do. And that's exactly what they came to do, and actually they did that. And we are saying this not quite a week after that, less than a week, they even attacked the president convoy. God forbid one day that these people come and capture the son, the daughter, or the wife of a prominent person that is in authority. It is then that, yes, as a country, we will now be serious and know that, yes, it's not a joke. It's not a matter of joke. It's a serious issue.
Well, talking about the president convoy, do you think there is a linkage here? Now, the people perpetrating this crime, the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, and now this Kuje, and also the people that attacked the president's convoy?
Yes, it's a chain. You see, when you come to terrorism, terrorism is a chain because they have a common sponsor. Whoever that is sponsoring it could be, because somebody cannot be sponsoring one crime at Amansi, and they have a chain and they have a way of linking. Now, this thing I'm holding has made things very easy anywhere in the world. You can communicate, you can discuss with people, and somebody can be there giving you instruction with this. Because if you use the radio message, it can be intercepted. The military can intercept your radio message. So this is safer. And people use it to do so many things and so on. They operate in chains and they work together and they know themselves.
All right. I want to understand what this actually means for the country now when we talk about security, because about 600 inmates were actually released, including Boko Haram terrorists.
Well, the truth of the matter, like I started off saying that the state has fundamentally been, weakened. So that is just the fact of the matter, And also, I also considered that given the level of people, because of perhaps the influx of social media, people want to have higher stakes. Further weakens the position of the government. People just want to be, more involved. And when you consider that the government has not, for the past, years since independence, Nigeria has not really, shown any kind of confidence build any kind of confidence on the governed that, the country can actually give them hope. So there is no basis for the ordinary people to aspire or to hope for a better country. So that is the fundamental problem. Now, the northern Nigeria we're talking about, they are virtually, behind in almost all indices of development. Treat in isolation, because all these things are what people are taking advantage of. Now, if we are talking, and these are also part of the issues, because when you do not have the right investments into different government agencies or apparatuses, then when you need those things to serve you, there is no way, there's no magic around it. It is not going to work. And now, for instance, you have a situation where at the Kuje prison, you have a Senate president, alleged that the CCTV were installed, but they were not functioning. For a CCTV to function optimally, there has to be 24 hours power supply. There has to be internet, supply. So, is there any way you can stay in Nigeria today and you are assured of power supply? You are assured of internet. So these are the fundamental problems. So maybe they're using a genset and the CCTV to function. How do you expect this thing to function, to service the CCTV? So these are issues. These are real issues.
But we know there are issues, and we know they've been there. But if we keep talking about issues, what about ourselves? We need to protect
Nigeria
ourselves.
That's why I said, I said that the government has failed. Any government that cannot inspire confidence has failed. That is the situation. And now we have a failing state. The government is not permanent. Government comes and goes. We have Jonathan now. We have Buhari. And then by the next few months, we're going to have a new government. But the state is permanent. The state is there. And so what we have now is failing state. All the structures that are holding this are falling apart. In fact, Nigeria today, anywhere you are in Nigeria as of today, you are 100% responsible for your safety, for water, for anything at all. That is the state we are. And so for us to begin to think on how we can get up from this situation, terrible situation really, we have to begin to think about the processes, because it will also go through the democratic process. The leaders, the kind of leaders the people we support to occupy public offices, then if we're able to get the quality of people that can inspire the kind of leadership that we anticipate, then that's a good start. And we also need to know that the wasted years, wasted resources, we cannot do any magic about it. There is nothing we can do about it. We have to start from somewhere. So now, if we are getting the leadership right, then they will start from the scratch. They will have to build a vision for the country. They will have to develop, a process. Because development is not something that is magical. So these are issues. Most times, Nigeria, I don't know where we are. You can't say that the country is going here or going there. I mean, how can you get up from your house and you are just living and you don't have any direction? That's how Nigeria is. So you cannot see any clear direction where the country is going. So these are fundamental issues. These are fundamental, whether it's security or whether it's now, I was watching yesterday evening where Professor Kingsley Malo mentioned that Nigeria is indebted to the tune of about 40 trillion naira. 40 trillion naira.
You see, in one of the papers
now
this
you begin
morning.
to, you see, and even he also observed something which myself have also taken note. Do you know, even this small mama put that they used to sell 200, 250. Now you can't buy less than 500 naira. So these are realities, and there you expect the people to just sit down and be watching. I mean, but we have to start from somewhere. I mean, but otherwise there is no magic around it. We have to, and the process we have to start by getting people who have what it takes, people who are serious about solving the problem, people who can articulate, philosophize. There has to be a template. There has to be a template. You don't govern by a mere head assumption. There has to be a clear template that you can say that this is where we are going, that this is what we want to do from now till this time, and it has to be timed.
Okay, let's know. Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
What's your name and your location?
I'm Eunice, calling from Abeokuta.
Go ahead, Eunice.
Okay. From the look of things, we see the nation and all the happenings. You need God. Because without God, you can do nothing. And we see that all the people that are in the power, as our brother there was saying that the nation has failed, everybody has failed. We have tried Muslims all this while. Why not we try Christians? And why not we allow God to take over the nation? Because the Bible said that when a God-fearing person is on the throne, the people will rejoice. So, what I'm saying is that if we allow the Muslims to continue, I don't know where the nation will be heading to. But let's try Christian and let's try prayer. We should not be just judging, condemning, or saying one thing or the other that will feel like sin. All we need to do for the nation is to pray. Because I know that God will definitely intervene for this nation. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof.
All right. Thank you so much, Eunice.
Let's vote the right person.
All right. Thank you so much, Eunice. This one, you're echoing what Eunice said. Are you also thinking towards that direction?
You see, this country, the politicians have raped the people of this country so bad. There is poverty in the land. I mean, how can you pay somebody 30,000? That is for those working minimum wage is 30,000. Some people are paid 20, 15, 18,000 in some places of work. A bag of rice is between 28 to 32,000 depending on the quality of rice you want to buy. So we find out that people are not people are not feeding. People are very hungry in this country. And so now when the election comes and the right person comes that you will vote for, and because that person cannot afford, look at how many of these young ones could have been, would have wanted to compete as the president of this country will come in, where ordinary paper they call election whatever is sold for 100 million naira, and the other one is 40. The good people cannot afford it. They don't have the money. They don't have the resources to do this. And now when the election comes, like Eunice is saying, vote for the right candidate. The right candidate, they don't have the money. And people will come and do what? And start to give them money. Because they've not eaten. What will they do? They now. But let us see whether our people, this time around, will say no, because we are people holding ourselves. If we say no, that we are not enough of this, let us come out and vote for that person, no matter his political party. Let us go and vote, no matter where it comes from, no matter his religion. Let us go. This is the person that will lead us. Like my brother is saying, taking us forward to the promised land. That is when we all decide that this man A cannot take us to the promised land. And let us all vote. We vote out all this nonsense. All these 8 years of...
Okay, I also want to ask you because he's here first. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location?
Emeka Nwokoro from Nimo.
All right, go ahead, Emeka.
I'm happy with what you are discussing this morning. I hope what we're discussing is this Muslim ticket issue just...
No. We are talking about what happened, the Kuje Abuja break.
Okay.
This is ABS. This is ABS TV, not ABS Radio.
I was calling ABS. I think the ABS I'm calling.
Thank you. Okay. I'm blaming the government for a whole lot of things that is not working in our country right now, that are not working rather in our country right now. But then I still want us to come back to what happened at Kuje prison. I know that are there to safeguard that correctional center. I know we leaving alone for the security agencies to handle. It's a partnership between the security agencies and the people around there. So what happened that these people couldn't actually even call for a backup, even if they've got that center, they were not there, or they couldn't repair.
A man and his friend were house for shelter because maybe it's the power in their firework, and he has known that with that, so we are all dispersed. That does not, the military command or the police will not say that we are not called. To now defend himself, to say whether he had or he did not get a phone call or he did not hear about this thing happening.
Okay.
And that's another thing. So it's for them now to report to Nigerians.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and your location.
Yes, my name is Mr. Yusuf Abdullahi from Kuje.
From Kuje? Go ahead, Yusuf.
Yes, from Kuje. Yeah. What happened in Kuje is a disgrace to this government. A real disgrace to this government. Because what happened, we're really surprised what happened in Kuje.
Okay.
So, Buhari government has pressed this country. Thank you very much.
Happened that, but then we appreciate your call.
The issue, Nigeria, the level where the country is, there is no need to believe that there is going to be any messiah. It's a work. It's a massive work, and so let's we can always has failed. Of course, he has failed, but what is happening is beyond Buhari. It's beyond him. It's beyond the current government, because it's a failure that. So that's why Nigeria just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So we're just waiting for the day it's going to blow up. And then you have to consider that the citizens are not there's this carelessness. In fact, even in your street, there is anything that is going wrong, I mean, nobody cares. Living as if something blocks the road now and there is, we'll just be managing it and be going. Nobody cares. So that's the kind of the kind of citizens that we have all over the country. At all, people don't care. So when you have that kind of citizens, so that's where we are.
Okay. Again, ISWAP has actually claimed responsibility for the attack, and in the papers today we saw where a jet from the U.S. to actually. So I'm trying to, merge the two. action to see if these people are claiming responsibility for.
It's telling you, how many times did they kill Shekarau? He died. Another time you will see him talking. Another Islamic State of West Africa province came. That was it, and so on. So they are claiming they did all these things. Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Please to maybe call us back so that we hear what you're saying. I still want us to. You've not finished what you're saying. Yes. Cut you short because of the incoming call. So continue.
Yes. Over, they merged with Boko Haram in some areas. With a vehicle, they went on bike. Checkpoints, either police, either military. Get to Kuje from that place. Were they invisible or things like that? There must be a kind of complicity in this issue. This is swap or two that will have that particular time and say, remove your eyes and let there are people passing and things like that.
Hello, good morning. Hello? I think this is the network that is actually disturbing us. Okay.
I think actually there might be complicity, yes. But then, like I said, that do not take their responsibilities, this is what you get. Because we just described why have we not taken care of all of that? Is there also so these are issues. And so then it could be more the case that because of the level of faith in the country by the people, because for the people to stand up for their country, that's for them to be patriotic, then they have to have a level of faith in the country.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What is your name?
Is that ABS?
Yes, this is ABS. TV, yeah.
Okay, good morning, presenter and the guest.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Benue State, my name is Alban. It's Alban, yes. You see, today is a collective responsibility and the negligence on the part of every citizen of Nigeria. You see, let me be frank. Is the education sector that is working? Is it the petroleum section that is working? Is it the electricity section that is working? There is nothing that is working in Nigeria today. You see, the armed forces, the police, the DSS, even the church itself, all of us, we have failed. When these things were happening in Afghanistan, so we are here laughing. And some people, we are making predictions. Why? I am one of the people that predicted that Nigeria should be very careful and very serious in what is happening. these people that came, they passed, they didn't use jets to come. They didn't use anything to come. They passed maybe some roadblocks, the army roadblocks, the police roadblocks, the immigration, and the gates to Kuje, and did what they did. You see, Nigeria has exhibited the symptoms of a failed state. To be frank, when ASU will be on strike for over 5 months and nothing happens, if the president convoy could be attacked and everybody is keeping quiet, it means that nobody is safe. It means that we should do something. I thank God that the election is fast approaching, and I want to use this opportunity to advise all and sundry. Let us get our BVC.
All right.
And vote this government out of power. I wish today is the handing over of this present administration. I pray that God will save Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much,
Nobody,
Alvin.
we are exhibiting a carefree attitude. In the early 70s, in the early 80s, people were training other people, help to train other people's children. But today, such things are no longer happening. Carefree attitude. When a section of the road is spoiled, you see people diverting. Is it NEPA, the electricity? Meters were given to them to distribute to every household. They are selling it. So which section is the infrastructure? Nothing is happening. Is it the porous entry point into like it is all Nigeria that even flies and the birds can really without any intersection? Is it the immigration that is working? Is it the church that is working?
Alban.
Have failed. I pray to help Nigeria. This is my submission. God bless you, the presenter, and the good men that you started this program. God bless you.
God bless you too, Alban. Thank you so much for calling us this morning. I really appreciate it. Then again, let's still at what happened inside. With the inmate in there, because this kind of thing, this kind of operation wouldn't have happened without an info. They said it happened at night and they came in, they knew exactly the bomb and all that. So do you also believe that?
Yes, somebody was leading. So it could either be a prominent prisoner there in that prison, or some warders, or some of them will have given, said, let me call this number, call these people, and that person came. Abakiari's statement was that when they came, they would have killed him because fire his room and things like that. The guy has exhausted what he had. Somebody leading them to tell them this is where these people are. We should have been somebody who works there, who knows that these people, this is where they are. I cannot just go to ABS now and come in and know the office of the MD, the office of the directors, if I have not been, will be there. Because in any crime, there must be somebody that is within that circle. So that is where the investigation had to, be. And then I find out the phone calls and check whether there was any call that was made, because I don't know how if network providers are, because if it's in advanced countries, you can get the statement of independence.
American independence.
So the
yes.
guy was you see, camera by just a street camera. That was when they saw that this guy, that he's a man dressed in a woman's clothes, and you know, and before you knew it, they started they got. That's how to fight crime. But you have a situation that shows the government, you know, is just that one is over. Then the state, the things that are holding the state, you know, they are falling apart. So how do you begin to look at these things?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Is that ABS? Is that ABS? Good morning.
Yes, ABS TV. Good morning.
Nice to be with you on the show.
All right, tell us your name.
My name is Salahuddin. I am calling.
All right, go ahead, Shola. Are you there, Shola?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Go ahead.
My country. I will reference the success of the terrorists.
We are listening.
So, as I was saying, terrorist attack on the Kuje prison break to the police by the government.
Total neglect of.
Because if our police are effective,
Okay.
they have best of all structures among the armed forces. They have the best of all structures in intelligence gathering. So this calls for the government instantly look into the welfare and conditions of service of the police force.
All right.
These are the people at the front line. Sacrifice their lives. Let go their comfort. In fact, deprive their family of their attention. All in the name of preserving and protecting the territorial integrity of Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much for your submission this morning. So, do you also agree with what he's saying?
Well, you know, he's
Just the police?
he's making it's not just the police anyway, you know, because we have the DSS that is supposed to be like the intelligence unit of security, yes, of Nigerian security architecture, you know. So, but he has a point, you know, because that's why these days you can't, if there is an issue and you are trying to call the security agencies to come, and you know, many of them they won't come, because coming there, if they die, you know, in active service, the government is not ready to take care of their family. The government is not ready to. If maybe they have injuries, or they sustain you know, serious injuries that will keep them bedridden for life, the government is not ready to take care of them. The government is not ready to see to it that they are well, you know, taken care of as people who were in active service before they sustained such. So there is no motivation. Unlike in countries. Like I read Obama's biography. You know, the last one we talking about his experience at the presidency. You know, Obama made it a point of duty to always visit injured soldiers that are foreign American soldiers that are fighting in foreign lands like Afghanistan and some other places, both injured and the ones that were dead and were brought back for burial. in the US. So he personally attends to these things, and he said that changed him, in a lot of ways. So the government is not inspiring any kind of hope, any kind of patriotism, just there, just colorless. So, and you don't expect people to sacrifice their lives for something that is not worth it. So even if you, as a security person, will you die for Nigeria? Will you die for Nigeria? Will you die fighting for this? Will you put your life? Will you risk the comfort of your family? Will you expose your family because you want to make the point that you are serving Nigeria? So these are critical questions that people should personalize. Before you point an accusing finger and say that this person didn't do a job, this person, will you, considering the way the country is, how the country has been, if you are in this situation, will you do this? So that's why I said we have to go back to the basics. We have to inspire the government. Leadership has to be about inspiration. You have to inspire people. We have to, reorganize. We have to start just from the beginning. So that's how these things we are going to start, solving these issues.
As we are concluding, John, now knowing that this is terrorism, there's no doubt about that. And then we have seen what has been happening security-wise in the country, the attack on the convoy, the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. And so many of them, even today, they killed some people in Kaduna. Yes, I saw it on the paper. So now, what is the fate of citizens of this country? Now, how do we protect ourselves? Because if I understand what we have been saying here, we have failed the country, the leaders, when it comes to security and so many things. So what are we going to do? What should we do now to safeguard ourselves, pending on when the government will now look for a way to retrace their steps, especially in the securing the nation, and see how we get it.
Joined the academy, I was told that is trained, equipped, paid to die for his nation. But now I don't know whether it's still the same thing happening. But the important thing is we should be having our neighborhood watch. We should have our neighborhood watch where we will know. Something happened on Sundays ago. My son went, and a 10-year-old boy opened the gate and drove the car out. And he hit a wall. Me, I was sleeping, I didn't know. And again, he pushed the car and damaged the car. But a neighbor called me from another building and said, "Was your son driver?" I said, "No." He said, "He has destroyed your vehicle." And then I took note. So that's how you should be, that when you see something happening in a neighbor's area, you do what? You alert the neighbor, and everybody comes out and things like that. And if possible, very soon, let us start having license to have a defensive mechanism that we have. And that's the only way we can curtail all these things, because you find that they succeeded in disorganizing and weakening the police. Go anywhere in Anambra State and call a police that there is a case there and a policeman done, they won't, and something like that, because these people. So every policeman is afraid. Even if you tell your Commissioner they are stranded. I said, the man will carry that thing that the wife has told him, and they will not demotivate. The zeal to work as a first person is gone.
Well, on that note, we want to say a very big thank you to you both. Ebuka Onyekwelo, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you.
And to you, John, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. You are the best in this. Bless you people.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. From what we've discussed here this morning, you know that in our country, our neighborhood, it's just what you and blaming the government all the time when we have a situation at ground. We need to try as much as possible to do all we can to see that we secure ourselves, our surroundings. In fact, where we live, where we operate, our offices and all that. So we'll close with this. If you say something. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. See you again tomorrow. Bye.